Good morning, everybody. Right, welcome back. Come back up the chute today. The idea of our little visit up here today is I've just got me HW100 back, just been serviced, had a bit of a leak. So it's been the whole cartridge and a complete service done. So it's all up and running fine now. Also, I've invested in a new scope for the rifle as well. It's an MTC Copperhead scope. Yeah, nice bit of kit. Got my little dog on me again today. He just wants to get going. He's right, little whinger. Yeah, so it's a Copperhead scope, the little compact one. It's quite short. And the one I had on there before was quite long. So it's suits the rifle really well. It's a nice compact little scope. So I brought it up here to zero it in today. Yeah, looks good. Looks well made, solid. Nice reticle in there, multi-dot reticle. It's got target turrets on it as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zero it in today and work out all the different ranges so I can actually dial on there. So I'm mainly going to use this rifle, I think, for shooting squirrels from a hide. So I bought me little bait stations out with me today, what we built. So I'm going to place them up some trees today, get it all set up. So I'll come back up in a couple of weeks' time and build a little hide and sit there so we can get a few squirrels. Yeah, nice one. Right, what is this? A 3-2. I think it's 3 to 12 of them, this one, isn't it? Yeah, 3 to 12 by 44, 30mm tube on it. Yeah, nice little scope. But what I did find was I had to get this right on the edge of there to get the eye relief correct, because this tube body between these 2 points is quite short, so you haven't got a lot of play in there to get the eye relief, but lucky enough it's just about right. So that was lucky really. But obviously in other types of air rifles that haven't got this gap here for the magazine, you'd probably be okay. But on this HW100, just be aware that this part of the scope body is quite short. So I mean, it's as far back as it can go and it's just touching that part there, so it can't go back any further. Yeah, so it was a little bit worrying when I got that far. No, blimey, I'm going to get enough eye relief there, but lucky enough there was. So what I've done, I set up a 20-yard paper target up there on the post to actually just to start it off. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to work out 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, out to 40 yards. Then I'm going to work out all the dialing on this scope. I've got my rangefinder with me, so when I'm like in the hide, it's 20 yards, and also I'll just click it down to 20 yards on the turret. Then we know we're spot on the crosshair every time, instead of holding under and holding over. So obviously when I set the squirrel feeders up, then I'll be able to work out the ranges from where I'm going to set the hide up. Then we know every time it's going to be pinpoint. Right, okay guys, so that's the plan for today. And also up in this corner of the wood here, you've seen it before, there's an old high seat. So I brought some tools with me. I'm just going to see if I can tidy it up a bit so I get up here and shoot a few foxes with a rifle as well. Because when the last video, when I come back to the farm, looked across here on the bank, there was a fox walking about over here. So there's plenty of fox poo down there I've seen. So there are a few about here. The farmer said they shot one the other week. I don't know, I don't think he shot one over here, I think it's the other part of the farm. So, but they're always around. And obviously we don't shoot up here like we used to, the pheasant, so we're not up here so much. So there's quite a few foxes about, I think. So watch this space, we'll come up here. Now the evenings will get a bit lighter, a bit more time to come up and do a bit of shooting. Right, okay, that's enough waffling. Let's get the magazine set up. And I've already marked a spot just there. I'm going to be shooting it prone for 20 yards to start with and start zeroing this rifle in. Right, okay guys, let's see how we get on today. Right, okay then, let's get the old magazine in. The ground's a bit wet here today. What's up there? That's that. Safety's on. Right, okay. So we got on prone here. As much as all parallaxed in as well. I picked a regular spot. There's a few nettles here. So I have to come this way a little bit, I think. I was going to get a bit stung up there. Right, let's have a look. Oh, let's get this off first. Oh dear, no stinging nettle right there. You can have me, I can see it happening. Yes, very calm here as well, so there's not a lot of wind, so basically it's ideal really. Right, let's have a look in there. See how that looks through the... Oh, let's parallax that in a bit more, I think. It's got a little parallax wheel on the side here, obviously. Also, it's got illuminated reticule, which is going to be handy, like for doing a bit of rat shooting. Right, there we go. Let's have a look, see where these shots are going. So, this first shot. That's new scope. Safety off. Oh, that's not too bad. That is an inch below it. Ah, not too far away, that. Right, let's go up a little bit. We do push these turrets up and then you can turn them. Right, let's try that again. Bit more. A little bit at a time and I get it right. Lovely little rifle, this is so accurate, it's unbelievable, this thing. Up we go. So it's only 20 yards at the minute, so I just want to get it roughly, then I'll stick. The next one to stick out will be 35. Just want to get someone near that kill zone. Cool. Right in the middle of it, that is. You know what, that scope is pretty well in line. Just wants to come to the right about 3 clicks, I reckon. Not a great deal. Right, that's right. Just wants to come. A little bit more. It's not far out, you know. It's not going to take long to zero this in, I don't reckon. Wow. Well, I'll take you up there in a minute and just let you have a look. Let's put one more up there. So this is 20 yards, this target. Right, okay. Let's have a wander up there and have a look. Oh, blimey. So this is 20 yards, so let's go and have a look. This literally is the first shots I put through that gun with that scope on. I haven't touched it or done anything, just put it on the mount. And the mounts and on the rifle. Oh, look at that. That's the first few shots, and obviously I brought it up. Look at that. 20 yards. All in there, a little cluster. Look. I think that top one there was the last shot. So that looks pretty level to me. So it wasn't far out, was it? You know, this didn't need a lot of moving right to left, just a few clicks. And it was there. I'm well pleased with that. Brilliant stuff. Right, okay, what we'll do now, I'll get my rangefinder out and we'll put it up to 35 yards up there on one of those posts. Right, good. Okay then. Right, let's walk back over here and grab the old rangefinder and find a 35-yard mark. Might have to move from this original position because those posts aren't like every 10 yards apart, if you know what I mean. I've had to tie my little dog up over there, otherwise he'd be walking in front of the gun whinging. So I didn't want to shoot him by accident. Right, okay then. Right, let's get the rangefinder out and get a 35-yard zero, I reckon. Then we can work out all the turrets on there for different ranges. Right, okay then. Right, it's 1 out of 35 now. Let's see what this one group's like. I haven't touched any of this yet, so I'll just put a few shots up there and see what it looks like. Right. The parallax ain't too bad. Right, okay. Let's see what this does from here. 35 yards. Ooh, just below it that was. So come up just a bit, I think. A few clicks up. Yeah, I'm shooting this on 6 mag, which I like to shoot on most of my hunting. It's just below the other pellet there. Right, let's come up a bit. Pull the turret up, flick it round. It's an ideal day today. It's so calm just there. No wind at all. I think that's in the kill zone, you know. A few more up there. Yeah, nice little screw. It's pretty clear. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, bullseye. Been a rabbit squirrel at the end of that, I tell you. Looking good. Let's do a couple more, then we'll walk up and have a look at it closer. One more. Might need to go up a little bit, I think. We're going to have a closer look. Right, okay guys, let's go up there and have a look at that group. Oh, getting too old, getting up down. Right, let's go and have a little walk up there. Let's grab all of you. Right, okay. Right, that's our 20-yard target. 35 is up here. So smooth that gun to shoot, it's lovely. Yeah, you can't beat the old fire rock equipment. There you go. That's the first couple of shots. Clicked it up. And that's the rest of them in there. Look, what are you reckon on that then? You reckon that's accurate enough? So that's all in there. So 35 yards. Yeah, I'm well pleased with that. Right, what I'm going to do now then, I'll set the scope up on the turrets for 35. Then we'll start to work out all the other distances using the turrets for dialing. I'm well pleased with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So there's no wind. We're down the other side of the hill, so any wind that's coming from that direction is blowing right over the top of us, so it's not going to affect this at all. So perfect really for setting up the old scope. Yeah. So it's all on here. So what I've got to do, undo this. Then you lift the scope up, then I move the 0 on here back round. Set it there. Click it all back in. Tighten all this up. Then we know every time we go to 0, that's 35 yards. And obviously when I go to 20, then we'll dial it down to whatever it be for 20 in a minute. Then I'll make a note on a piece of paper what all the different numbers are for different ranges on the turret. And that's all set then. So obviously if we're in a hide, we're shooting squirrels at 20 yards. And I've got to click this down to say number 20 or something. Then that crosshair is going to be smack on for 20 yards. You know, there's no holding under or holding over and all that sort of business. So it just makes it a lot easier. All right, it's different if you're out in the field walking about maybe. You know, you might have to judge it a bit different if you get a chance with a rangefinder, ranger squirrel moving around, give you a rough idea what the range is on, and then you could, you know, obviously change it on the turret. But that's what I used to do on the field target, you know. You work out what your range is for your different numbers on here. Obviously your focus wheel would be on here. This is too small for field target really. Probably right for hunter field target, probably perfect there, because you set up one parallax, one mag, and that's it, you know. But when I used to use field target, you know, you had your big wheels up here, your 30 odd magnification or 40, 50 magnification scopes, parallax ranges in, come up 50 yards, and obviously 50 yards on here, click, 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 50 yards, and you know, pinpoint every time. Right, okay, I'll get got a little coin, pop in there, then we'll just wind this round back to 0, push it down, tighten it all back up. Now it's locked, that'll be the 30 yard, then we'll work out all the different ranges. Right, okay guys, well pleased with that, seems to be shooting really well. Right, okay, let's sort out the turret on there. Right, okay, what I've taken the turret off, all you've got to do is unscrew this little screw there. Obviously it unscrews that, then this turret just lifts off. Right, so what I'm going to do now, find obviously the 0 on there. I don't think you'll be able to see that or not. 0 on there. Right, so let's go and line up with that mark just there. Get that into, there we go, a bit further over I think. So that little mark just there, a bit of rubbish in there, I don't know if you'll be able to pick out, there's like a little mark just there. So that 0 now corresponds with a 35 yard 0. So that's that set up. Obviously this goes back in the way it came out. Do that in there. A bit fiddly trying to do it when you're trying to hold a camera and you're using the wrong hand. Just get that started. There we go. Got a 20p piece there. Just tighten it back in. Sorry about the noise in the background. If you can hear my little doggy. I've had to tie him up on the fence because obviously we're shooting. I don't want him walking in front of me. And also I'll be licking my ears all the time, putting me off. Right, there we go. So that should be in there. Pull that up so you can move it and back again. Knock that back in. What I'll do the same on this side as well, because this is all lined up perfect now as well. So we'll set that to 0. And everything's spot on then. And all we've got to do now is work out all the different ranges. Right, okay guys, I won't sort of bore you with me shooting 10 yards, 15 yards, 25 and all that. So what I'll do, I'll set it all up, and then we'll have a little wander up into the woods, and we're going to set up our little squirrel bait stations. Right, okay guys, right, I'm pretty happy with that. It seems pretty well zeroed, 35. So what I'll do, I'll spend the next hour now or so just working out all the different ranges to correspond with the numbers on the turret. Right, okay guys, let's see how we get on. Right guys, on the last one now, it's got a target out at 40 yards now. I've done all the rest. I've had a few shots at this one already. Just had a reload the magazine, a few clicks on the old turret. Right, let's see what we can do at 40 yards with this gun. Then we're going go and set our little squirrel feeding stations up. Right, okay, comfortable. A little bit high, that one. Let's see where this one goes. Might have to bring it down just a tad. Yeah. It's pretty well right next to the other pellet, but down a little bit. So accurate, this little rifle. Brilliant little thing. I think that's right in the black. Let's put a few more up there. Nothing wrong with this gun. She's like a dream. Ooh, a bit of a fire, that one. I'll blame the pellet on that one. Well, there'll be a rabbit out there. That's a fact. A couple more, that'll do. It's getting a little bit low on air as well, so I don't want to sort of like get false readings, if you know what I mean. Right, one more. Right, I think that'll do, guys. Well pleased with that. Right. Sure that's safe. Magazine out. Right, let's have a little wander down there and pick everything up and bring it all back. Right, okay. Let's go. Whew. I'll do something to eat and drink in a minute. I think that's hard work laying down there all the time. Right, so the other target we have. This one up here is a 40 yards. Yeah, I'm using JSB pellets in this rifle. They seem to go really well, and they go well on the broadcock as well. Right. Ignore all these. Well, that's the one I started off on there. And there. That's 40 yards. That was that flyer. Ended up there somehow. First two shots were just above. Clicked it down and they're all just going just in there, look. In this area. So at 40 yards, what's that? Little fingernail size, just about. A little bit bigger maybe, that one just on the edge there. So I think you could say that's pretty well zeroed and a very accurate rifle. Right, good. That's it all set up then. Ooh, so I weren't laying there all the time, little neck muscles and stuff. Right, good. I'm well pleased with that. That gun is spot on now. No excuses now, is there? Oh, right, okay. Right, let's sort of pack everything up, pull the targets back in the bag, make sure we don't leave anything behind, and a quick something to eat, a drink. Then we'll walk down along the edge of the wood to our normal sort of squirrel haunts. And I don't know if we're going to shoot any squirrels today or not, but we'll have a quiet walk down. If we see anything, we'll have a go at it. But I'll mainly come up here just to get that scope, zero the rifle in, obviously. We'll have a look at that high seat in a minute when we finish putting the squirrel stations up. But now we'll wander down there, and you can come along with me and we'll set up these squirrel feeding stations we made the other day. Right, okay, guys. Right, let's pack all this kit away and go and set up the old squirrel boxes. Well pleased with that. That was a 35 yard one we done earlier. Well, nothing wrong with that at all.